Here we go. Bleedy!
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
Here's Miles Sanders, the rookie second-rounder from Penn State. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
At the 25-yard line.
Here we go. Pac-Man. 120!
All day, every day, any day.
This complete left side to Aguilar. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down.
That was impressive to me because while it was a pass play, they still rallied to the football like they were filling running lanes, and they were able to put the receiver on the ground.
3 and out, a real danger here on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 12. Working from the gun, Wentz. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. That one goes for 24 yards. And on this first drive, looks like they want to get that vertical passing game going early.
And they did, and what a warning shot they just fired. If you're not going to back up and play coverage deep, we're going to attack you all game long. And once you adjust to that and you start to back off, then that opens things up underneath. A really nice start for them. Great way to get the game going.
That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially. They're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in with the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, you know, how you guys didn't come out of the game?
Down the numbers. There he goes. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Miles Sanders, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Elliott good on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. A look at Kerryon Johnson, second-year man out of Auburn. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up
a throw for Galladay is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Malcolm Jenkins. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD. Now this defense looking like they have come to play the pick-6, and just like that, it's 13-0 early on.
Well, go back with me to our training camp visits. What do we hear during these drills? Pass. Ball's in the air.
And then my favorite.
Oski. That's the interception. That means everybody finds someone to block them legally, stay on your feet, and they get it done. Touchdown.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Pretty good results here on the first down run as he takes us forward for about 6. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched him more last week. They weren't going to make... Same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Ronald Darby brought him down. A 3-yard gain on the play brings up third down.
Set. Blue 60.
Hey, here we go.
Easy to learn.
Stafford looking to throw on 3rd and 1. Airing one deep for Curse. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
A bit of an opening there on the 1st down run as they get this forward for about 6 yards. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
A 6-yard pickup.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Throwing his Wentz. And complete to Zach Ertz. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
For Eagles, 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 21-yard line.
120.
They're not ready for this, man. They're not ready for this.
Wentz now on 1st down. And on the catch right side, this is Sanders. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll be a 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give them 14 on that one and a 1st down. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far is working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
They'll come up after the sack on a 2nd and 12. It's a 2nd down run with Sanders. And now running right through it. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance in guessing. Because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And
he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Nelson Aguilar, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. Elliott good with a PAT. And that makes the score 21-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
He works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
Mitchell on the tackle. It's a gain of 2 yards.
21-0 our score after one. The Lions with the football here to begin the second quarter. They'll come up on a 3rd and 4 here to start things out.
Set, lady.
Right there, 54 miles. Here we go, here we go.
Hold on the hard, ready, move.
Out of the gun, Stafford. Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 44. And the return stops at the 39-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. To throw is Wentz. And this is Ertz with it, right side. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 17 yards and a first down for Philly. Wentz going to lead his guys up 1st and 10. And he's completed all 7 of his passes thus far. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4.
I can't help it. Every time I see Eric Berry make a play, as we just saw him make a tackle there, I just want to stand up and applaud.
Because he went to Tennessee like you?
Well, that doesn't hurt one bit, but how about the comeback? I mean, he came back from beating cancer and getting back to Pro Bowl level, one of the best players in the game.
Now we'll get a stoppage here as it appears we've got an Eagle slow to get up. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside.
Here we go. 180.
He can't hang. He's not going to get me.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. There's the first NFL catch for the former Stanford man, J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. So that's the rookie's first trip to the end zone, and I think it's safe to say one he'll always remember.
Oh, without a doubt. That one is going to be imprinted forever. And nowadays, we're seeing rookies make a greater impact at that position at receiver than ever before. I think mainly because of the sheer volume of footballs that they catch in college.
Fielded about a yard deep. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive. But they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
Lady.
Check 53. Guys, it's game situation. Let's go.
A shotgun snap for Stafford. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by Avonte Maddox. Amendola, he was the intended target. So that is 3 interceptions now in this first half. And you hate to ask the question, but let's be honest. We're thinking about it. Do you need to go in a different direction next series?
Potentially. We know that he's probably not going to be on the Pro Bowl ballot. That's not really his stature here. But he has been their starting quarterback for this game. So they've got to weigh things about who's behind him. Do they think he can snap it back into gear? Maybe change up the play calling to help him out a little bit.
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard.
Let's go, defense. Let's go, defense.
And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Anytime the offense shows what they call a shot play or a chunk play where they're trying to get big yardage, sometimes people just call it gadget plays, and you hold it to a gain that we just saw there, you feel pretty good about yourself as a defense.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run.
Looking for Jeffrey, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Brandon Marshall, and he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals, and if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well. We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. On 2nd and 12, Stafford. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Stafford. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Mike Mitchell. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out. But nowadays, the patience level isn't quite there. He's going to have to make some real adjustments, or the backup may see some time.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
On 2nd and 9, Wentz. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build on that stop. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave them trying to convert on 3rd and 9. On 3rd down, they turn to Sanders. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down. Now on 4th down, it's Cameron Johnston on to punt it away. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. Here's a run on 1st down that doesn't accomplish anything. In fact, he's going to be tackled behind the line for a loss of 1.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also.
And now here is another interception. Picked off at his own 10. And he'll score. Touchdown, Eagles. That pick six extending this lead even further. And boy, it's been a while since I've seen a team struggle this badly in the first half.
I think all they want to do is get to the locker room, try and regroup, and come out to start the third quarter. But if things don't improve fast then, I think the backups get a lot of play in the second half.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. From the gun, here's Stafford. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's James. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Going up top. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. I hate to sound really negative, but at this point, an incomplete pass, almost a moral victory that it's not picked off.
Well, you may hate to sound negative, but that was negative.
It was very negative, I know, but all these first-half interceptions, it's been tough to watch.
Yeah, couldn't find a silver lining in this one. Much more like lead.
The Eagles take over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
Mike 53. It's our time. It's our time.
Stafford going to give this one off to Johnson. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after them now.
Stafford on 3rd down. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Zach Brown with a big-time sack on 3rd down. It's a loss of 7. Here's Sam Martin now as he's on to punt for Detroit. Here's Jackson. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. ready at the line. This Philly offense set to go. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Hey, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points.
There he goes, left side. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Miles Sanders, his second touchdown of the game, his third on the year, as his guys continue to pour it on. This offense, they were dynamic in the first half. The halftime break, that didn't slow them down at all. Big strike here in the third quarter.
It's almost as if they were saying, it's not just our skill in the first half that's getting this done, it's confidence as well. And confidence has taken over this game in a big way. How about these strikes that we're seeing?
At their own 25-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Looking to throw on second down. Stafford. And he finds Danny Amendola. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. A good pickup. They get 8, but it's third down now.
Break that, lady.
Right there, 54 Mike. You got nothing today. You got nothing.
Faking the give to Johnson. Now it's Stafford. Amendola catching it left side.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
The offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3. They are going to go for it. It's Stafford. Throw left side complete. It's James. They're able to keep the drive alive. 7 yards that time, and the decision to go for it proves to be a good one.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Here's McKissick, and able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
From the 41, Stafford. Over the middle, it's Amendola. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
First down, Detroit.
Stafford going to come up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. The first down carry here for Johnson. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10.
Watch the screen. Watch the screen.
Operating from the gun. Stafford steps away to his left. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. 15 yards on the play, first down.
Sometimes guys get locked into such a groove. What do we call it? The game slowing down. They see everything happening almost in slow motion. They see the lanes develop. I feel like he's right there.
Well, and you want this from your leader, right? With this deficit, this stage of the game, second half, no quitting here.
0.
They'll run on first down. Johnson, about 3 yards there to the 27.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Check, watch 54, watch 54.
At the 27-yard line.
Now it's Stafford off the bootleg. They'll roll him out right. Eagle pressure, too much catch this time. Down he goes. Nigel Bradham flying in and laying the lumber defensively.
Enough takes to start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
No, now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation.
I got you. I got you.
From the gun, Stafford. And that will be incomplete. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, it really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
Now it's Matt Prater on for the Lion field goal try. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. A 55-yard attempt, normally you'd say well within his range. A little surprised he came up short.
And he knew it immediately, didn't he? They are so calibrated, aren't they? They can tell the touch, the feel. When they put the foot to the ball, whether it's going to be good or not, he knew immediately he didn't have that one.
They start on the ground here at Sanders. Room here to run. 34 yards there and a 1st down. Boy, the offensive line there, that was a thing of beauty to watch them block.
I love how you give a little appreciation for those big guys up front, and well-deserved. But how about the execution behind them? You can see the hours of practice that have gone into it. Great pocket by the running back. Quarterback puts it right in the perfect spot. Great mesh point by them. The timing on point. The run even better.
Right back to Sanders on 1st down. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. Trey Flowers there on the tackle.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
And they won't be able to run another play. Time has expired on this 3rd quarter. And that'll do it for the end of the 2nd quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Wentz on the give to Sanders. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Here we go, here we go. 280!
Pick it up, guys. Pick it up.
They'll run with Sanders. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. They'll try to run with Sanders. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Let's get it.
Well, they've been so good on third down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? They'll try to run with Sanders. And he's going to be taken down here, still a couple yards short of the first. Only a yard there, so it brings up 4th and goal. Defense didn't budge on 3rd down. Now what are we going to see on 4th?
We are soon to find out, but does this feel like old school football or what?
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
This is an old-fashioned goal line stand. I know what I would call on offense. I would go for it. And I want some type of a play where my quarterback has a chance to run it or throw it. I don't just want one static play.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line.
The Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
It's a pickup of 3.
Definitely too early to panic, but that is his 4th carry of the game, and collectively has a total 10 yards. So maybe there's no panic. But maybe some concern?
Yeah, and maybe a little concern up front because they're not giving him any space right now. Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8. Stafford now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. They will run it. It's McKissick. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. Tackle made there by Zach Brown.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And it'll be 4th down. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Oh, he'll field it in the end zone. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here. 1st and 10. Now a carry for Sanders. And he's going to take this up past the 10 to about the 11. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Another run here with Sanders. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
On 3rd down, they'll run it with Sanders. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds left to go. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Great coverage there. Holds him to a 2-yard return following a 50-yard punt. And the Lions will take over. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They are down big. They have not scored a single point. I don't know. Are they? Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
So fly, Eagles, fly. It's a victory for Philadelphia. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of